There is near unanimity in the scientific community on the cause and effect of climate change. Yet there is lack of clear vision and action from political leaders. Do you believe that there is a climate crisis, and specifically that it is caused by man's activities? And what is your plan to make Kings-Hants a leader in sustainability?
Thank you for that question. And I'd just like to first say, Cody, you didn't sell your party short. Your party sold small businesses short. Conservatives in Nova Scotia are no stranger to creating better environment. Over 10 years ago, our province was recognized when, under the leadership of Mark Parent, then the Minister of Environment for the PC Party, brought in the Environmental Goals and Sustainability Act. This act is heralded as the piece of legislation which reduced emissions in this province. Our party has a comprehensive platform with policy commitments that are not only realistic, but achievable. It is based on 3 guiding principles: invest in and incentivize others to invest in green technology, create a cleaner, greener environment, and take the climate change fight global. We will go after the big emitters, not put the burden on the backs of you and I. Thank you.
Woo! As mentioned before, we do, the NDP and myself personally do believe that we are experiencing a climate crisis and that it is caused by human activity, and therefore we need to take dramatic efforts to address this crisis. The NDP has developed a comprehensive and ambitious plan to combat climate change by first declaring a climate emergency and then implementing specific measures to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. We have a plan to reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 38% below 2005 levels by 2030, and certainly at the local level this will include a range of issues, and as your MP I would take the lead in helping bring people together to develop a regional strategy on how to best affect Kings-Hants and its ability to contribute to Canada's efforts to reduce our greenhouse gas emissions to the levels that dictated by the United Nations. Thank you.
Climate change is certainly real. We know the impacts. We've seen them right here in Kings-Hants, whether it's Hurricane Dorian, whether or not it's in rising sea levels that we've seen here locally. The Liberal government in 2015 inherited a conservative record on environment that was frankly shocking. We are 300 megatons in 2015 over our Paris Climate Accord. Over the last 4 years, we've reduced that down to 79 megatons. We have a plan on environment. We've invested $70 billion. We all know there's no silver bullet solution to address climate change and environment. It comes from a variety of different means. There's been a plan for over $70 billion to support these initiatives. We're committing to meeting our targets and then exceeding them in 2030 and being carbon neutral by 2050. You know, Martha talks here about the progressive conservatives at the provincial level. There's not too much progressive about the environment plan at the federal level with our federal conservatives. Thank you.
So the Green Party definitely believes there is a climate crisis and that it is human caused. The first thing we need to do is set targets, set national targets, and comply with them. So the Green Party target is 60% below 2005 levels by 2030. Nova Scotia is actually ahead of other jurisdictions on this file, so we're already at 20% below 1990 levels for our emissions here. And what we need to do is continue in that direction, support the people who are working in that way, and we need to have major investments from the federal government. We need to invest in renewables. We need to provide grants and incentives for people to install solar panels, to go towards wind turbines, to make those alternatives a reality, to invest in research so that we can do tidal and do it right. And I'll just do that.
I'd just like to make it clear that it's not the scientists who are saying that it's 97% consensus. That's the politicians. Scientists understand that there's no such thing as consensus. That's got us in very dangerous places in the past. So, as far as it goes with Elizabeth May, we understand from the UN that apparently we need to charge $300 a ton to achieve the goals. Right now, Justin Trudeau is doing $50 a ton. None of these people are going to be able to actually achieve these goals anyways. I don't think Canadian tax dollars should be going to fund these things, especially when most of these things aren't even being spent within Canada. We're sending them across to wherever the UN would like to dictate. So, as far as it goes with the Conservatives, well, they're not helping out small businesses by doing some sort of a cap and trade there. They can call it that it's not a tax, but it is an extra cost for these businesses. So the People's Party is, we believe that the climate is changing, but we will say clearly that we don't think that there's anything to be alarmed about. In fact, we think it's dangerous to be getting the children so scared thinking that they're going to be gone in 12 years. We need to look at this rationally and hear both sides. I'm glad I got to put